Hey, so in today's video we're building a Y pipe, or a Ramhorn as it's sometimes called, out of aluminum pie cuts. This can be done even if it's a mandrel bend 90, can be for aluminum, stainless, steel, whatever. Process is all the same. I'll show you how I do it. And also, these pie cuts were from weldmetalsonline.com. They're actually an affiliate of mine. I have a link in the description that if you use that, you'll get 10% off of any of their coupons. So use that if you plan on buying that stuff because it really helps me out. And also, welding it with HTP, and they're actually an affiliate of mine now too. So if you're planning on getting a nice TIG welder, MIG welder, plasma, whatever, use my link in the description below to help me get a kickback. Let's get to it. So at work I've been making a bunch of Ramhorns or Ys. We've been using mandrel bends, and basically all it is you have a 90 coming in, like that, and then it's two 90s basically sliced like that and welded up. So if you need to make one, basically all you have to do is find the center point here, lay it flat on something. If you have a bandsaw, you can actually set a guide that's running along the bandsaw. Let's pretend the bandsaw blade's right here. I'm pushing it this way. Set it right there, and then all you're going to do is find your center point that's right there and move that guide until it's perfectly on the blade, outside over here. Then turn it on, and you're just going to keep pressure right here and run it all the way through that bandsaw. It'll cut it off at a perfect 90. Do it with the other one and then weld them together. So I better show you how to find center. To find center, use the side that isn't welded. If it's a pie cut, if it's just a regular 90, it don't matter. So you're going to hold this down. It's best to clamp it. I don't have one right now. I don't really feel like it, so I'll just be gentle. You're going to take your square, put it right at the edge of one side, mark it. Best if you have a fine tip. Be gentle. Make sure you don't move it. Mark it. Alright. Now we're going to hold this guy down where it's flat. Push it up against there. Move it out of the way. Mark the straight edge right there. Once you got that, then we're going to measure it. Outside to outside, where I marked it's 3 inches, so 1.5 inches is dead center. Mark it good. Then we're gonna move this guy back in. I'm just gonna eyeball it for a second. Alright, once we got that, you're going to check it. Now, looks like it needs to move that way a little bit. Right about there's the distance. See if we're lined up. Now we're lined up. Make sure. Still needs to move this way. It's best if they clamp it. Oh yeah, that looks right. So then you can line this up with that bottom mark, mark the top. Mark that bottom mark. Or if you can just mark it, flip it, mark it. This is a little bit easier. Anyways, that's your center line. That's where you're gonna run the blade. And you're just gonna cut off that side. So, all right. And if you don't have a bandsaw to run it through, like I sold my bandsaw because I hated it, and just need one for aluminum. So you're gonna find those marks, mark them right here on the sides. That way you can see them. Then, all you're gonna do is basically eyeball it, but the bigger one of these, the easier it is to eyeball. But you need it 90 to your to this piece. So if you have something tall enough, you can do something like this. Put a couple blocks together if you have them. And put it in line. See, I already have that line marked. So I'll do that. Use that to hold it. Actually, that might fall. Oh well. So now I got it lined up. Now, I'm going to put this guy right there and line it up with that line I have marked, so it's 90 degrees from that. Once I have that, now all you're going to do is move your eye until it's perfectly flat across that, and then you transfer your mark back onto that pie cut, and you're just going to do that all the way down the pipe, and you're just going to hit that flat face all the way down. Alright, we got that side. Okay, so I got it all marked out, and since this is marked before we're welding, when you weld, this line will disappear. So you're going to want to etch it in there either with an engraver or something deep enough to where you'll be able to see it afterwards. Because you want to weld this before you cut it. So what you're going to do is you're going to start, you know, about right there, and then weld around and end over here. You don't have to weld out the whole thing. But these two you have to weld out, obviously, because it's right there. It's just a lot easier, and it'll look a lot nicer if you do it beforehand. 5 of these equals 90. Another 5. We just got maybe a 1/16 gap up top. That's nice. And that's probably just air tacking it together. But using that method of laying them flat, putting that guy up there, and then tacking off of that will keep you nice and straight. Doesn't work as nice as using like the red Scotch-Brite, but it looks alright. And it's wire brushed now, so I just need to wipe it with some alcohol and weld them up. So how I'm gonna weld this guy out is I'm going to start right here in the center and weld and put my stops right here. That way when you weld this to your 3-inch pipe that comes from here, it'll hide those stop points. And I like to have the least amount or the less visible stop points.